Hello and welcome to the Feminine Millionaire Show. I'm your host, Polly Alexander, and I'm a success coach, healer, creative, and future millionaire. If creating money and success in a spiritual and feminine way is your goal, this show is for you. Understand how to overcome your past, bring your soul's greatest gifts to the world, and up-level your income, impact, joy, and happiness. Join me each week to be inspired and uplifted as you learn the business, mindset, energetic, and spiritual shifts you can make to create your own wildly abundant life and business. Let's all rise together. I'm super excited to have Jay Bradley on the show today. Jay is a breathwork teacher and healer, the founder of Breathe On It and the creator of Chakra Balms. He's originally from Canada and currently based in Palm Springs, California, and works with clients across the world. Now, I have had the privilege of working with Jay in person when we could do that in the world. And I first met him when I was living in LA in the summer of 2019. And I decided to try something completely new for me, a breathwork class. Now, the class blew my mind and provided a huge emotional release, and I felt like a weight had lifted off me afterwards. I felt lighter, happier, and I knew I'd really let go on a deep level of a lot of trapped emotions. So I went on to attend Jay's classes and events during my time in LA that summer and more deeply discover the power of breath work. Jay then joined my Money Beautifully program in 2019, and then I invited him to be a guest expert at Thrive Beautifully LA, the live event, just before the pandemic unfolded in March 2020, and my women really loved him and his work. You can now experience his classes and teacher training online, and when the world opens up again at live events and on retreats worldwide. So welcome, Jay.
Oh, thank you, Polly. It's such an honor to be here. And yes, fond memories of our time in Hollywood together.
I know. I'm so excited. Meeting in person, it's quite a novelty these days.
Oh my goodness. I'm holding on to those memories.
Right? I know.
Virtual world. So great to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you on. You've got such beautiful energy and you've got so much wisdom to share with our listeners. So I've shared about where you are now. But you've been on a big journey, and I'd love you to share a little bit about how you got to what you do now.
Right. It has been a long journey. I was one of those people who was always trying something new. And the question was always like, God, when will I find my calling? You know, I kept searching, kept trying, kept moving on. And it was sort of a little bit of a frustrating journey. But I will say once breathwork entered my life, I knew that I had found my calling, you know, and that was a really wonderful feeling for somebody who's been searching for so long. But even before that, this sort of like self-help spiritual journey, I would say I've been on over 30 years. And it's really because I was just kind of unhappy and depressed and sick growing up. And there was a lot of struggles. And even though from the outside, it seemed, you know, like I had it all together, there was a lot of internal struggle. So my journey started pretty young. I would say I was about 20 when I, you know, picked up my first self-help book. And even before that, I remember kind of sending some energy from my hands to some family members when I was a kid. I didn't really know what I was doing. And then my first partner of 7 years, I would just do some energy work on him in my 20s, and you know, he would immediately feel better. So I, around 20, began to explore energy healing and then combined it with the physical stuff. I became a massage therapist, a personal trainer, and also a wellness coach. So really loved this whole how to take care of your physical body, how to, you know, stay young and be youthful. But always underlying was this even more of a passion of, okay, yeah, but how do I work on the insides? How do I uncover some of these blocks and just like become happy? Because there was I would say like an overall numbness that I had, almost a paralysis of some type emotionally, like I couldn't quite feel joy. And it always bothered me because I wanted to, you know, just get more excitement and joy out of life. So yeah, the journey, I mean, I've seen every kind of healer under the sun, read every self-help book out there, and worked with a lot of people in those realms too. But along the way, you know, became a Reiki master, hypnotherapist, and then breathwork entered about 5 years ago, and complete game changer. Pretty much the thing that I've always been looking for. And who knew, right? It's something we can do naturally at home, as long as you have 2 lungs and a heart.
I think everybody is counting on that one. And tell me about that feeling when you discovered breath work. Like, what did it feel like to think like, because it almost sounds like I've met the one kind of feeling.
Oh my God, I met the one. Absolutely. It was a small gay men's group, actually. There was 5 of us, I think, in the group. And the instructor just told us to do this certain style of breath, and he played some music. And before you know it, I was sweating and soaked and then shivering, just totally freezing. I felt all of these chakra points just throbbing and pulsating and opening, and a lot of emotion, as you mentioned in your intro, just some sobbing and crying and just a lot of grief and a lot of release. And I was like, holy crap. I think this is what I've been looking for my whole life, because I felt more in that one session than I felt in the 47 years at the time on my journey. So pretty intense and pretty powerful. And to think one session could do that, what would happen if I continued this process?
Wow. So you went from being emotionally numb earlier in your life to then having this deeply emotional experience that really opened you up.
Definitely. And like everyone, I had bullying from kindergarten through high school, and it was beat up. And, small town Canada, there was a lot of taunting about being a gay kid. And so, we all have our story, but that certainly did not help my self-esteem, my confidence. And so all of that emotion, along with some other, traumas growing up, was just stuffed down. And I didn't even realize it, right? We don't understand until we do something like this, and then it starts to show up.
Was there any focus on self-development or spirituality in your upbringing?
No. No, other than my 2 favorite aunts. Both, I always call them my white witch aunts. They were always making homemade salves and balms and, doing energy work and healing work. And so one of those aunts gave me a book called Emmanuel's Book. And it was a channeled book that completely blew me away and changed my life. And so there was some good influence from my 2 aunts around using natural, using nature, connecting with the healing energy we all have. And then I found out later that my great grandfather had some hands-on energy healing books in Danish in his barn. Wow. So it's almost like, maybe this kind of runs in the family.
Yeah, it's like a lineage that never got fully expressed.
Yes, fascinating.
Because the time wasn't right, the opportunities weren't there, and it's almost like you're the generation that's here to actually share the gifts.
Exactly. And I want to go back to, you said, like, finding the one. Isn't all of this work about reconnecting with ourself, right? Even when we're looking for love or money or anything, it all comes back to loving and accepting ourselves. And so, yes, I feel like I found the one, and the one is me, right? Learning to love and accept and nurture myself first.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I love that. So breathwork really brought you home to you and opened you up.
Oh my God, in a whole new way.
Wow. Why is breathwork so powerful and so healing?
Well, I call it magic because, every inhale we bring in is brand new. So if you want to look at it that way, if you're stagnant, if you're stuck, if you have old stories and old traumas, every inhale is a brand new energy, a brand new story, right? It's something we don't have in our body. And so as we breathe in, we begin to bring in this new energy. What I love so much, because I do have a fitness and, nutrition background, I love that it does detox the body. So it works at building our gut health, our brain health, and it also boosts your immunity. And it can, in one session, release physical pain as well. So there's a lot of physical benefits. It also releases a lot of, feel-good hormones like oxytocin, endorphins, DMT, which is dimethyltryptamine. A lot of magic happens physically. But then I think the most exciting part and why it's so powerful is this emotional component that you mentioned as well in the intro. Is, I guess, it uncorks emotion that we've been storing, right? And it's not even always our emotion. It takes you deeper, even to ancestral energy. And so that's the power. We get to feel it so that we could heal it. And the emotion that comes up is often surprising. The most common thing I hear from people after a session is, wow, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
We go and, I feel fine. And then before you know it, we have all this sort of range of emotions. So I think that's what makes it the most powerful. And then this energetic and spiritual part as well, how it really opens and balances the 7 main energy points, the chakras. And something, again, magical happens where as we breathe, as we lay there and just tune into our body, these energy points begin to balance and align.
I love that. We get to feel it so we can heal it.
Yes.
So powerful. So how does breathwork help us unblock the chakras?
Well, we all have stuff that's stored emotion, as I mentioned, and I truly believe that they are held in different energy points in our body. For an easy kind of dummies guide to chakras, you could literally look at your own body right now and just notice, where am I holding pain? Where do I hold tension? What did I injure in a recent accident? Where am I having ailments? And I can guarantee you that there is some sort of blocked emotion, some sort of stress that we're holding in those areas of the body. And, the 7 main chakras are the root, which kind of runs from the hips downward, and the sacral sort of under the belly button in through the lower back, and the solar plexus is under the ribs, as well as in the belly, and the heart, of course, around the heart area. We have our throat chakra and the third eye right between the brow, and then the crown, which kind of connects us upward. It's from the top of the head up. And so if you can correlate what's going on in your body, where you hold tension, where you have any sort of physical ailments, they're always tied into these energy points. And breathwork has a way of just opening and accessing these energy points. And I always say our body knows how to heal, right? It wants to heal. It wants to feel good. And so all we need to do is lay down and breathe. And some of these stresses, these emotions, and they get uncorked and opened. And we begin to feel the healing on an energetic level.
So it's like we're allowing it. When we are present
Yes.
and focus on the breathing, we allow the breath to allow the body to do its natural process of healing.
Exactly. And I love that you said that, because it really is about surrender and the work, I call it breath work, and well, it is called breath work. So there's some work involved. Do you remember the process, right?
It's not really work though, is it?
Yeah, I guess it's an effort. It definitely is, there's resistance often in the first 3, 4, 5 minutes of a session.
Yes.
But what happens through that is a sense of surrender and letting go, and again, allowing the breath to do the work.
Yeah, I love that. There's so much effort in society now, so much trying and striving and doing things hard. It's just wonderful to feel this opportunity to move forwards through doing less, through letting go.
Yeah, I think that's been a big part of your message recently, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I firmly believe that letting go is what is going to take us forward more than the doing.
Yes, I agree. That's where I'm at as well.
So let's hone in one of my favorite subjects, as you know, money.
Money, money, money.
Money, love, and health. But let's talk about money. How does a block chakra affect our ability to earn money? Let's talk through the language of chakras here.
Yes, great question. Well, there's really different chakras that can correlate to money, to finances, and all things money. But the root is the primary chakra that I always look at when somebody has some challenges around money, whether it's overspending, under earning, a heavy amount of debt. The root really is our connection to the earth. And again, it runs from our lower back all the way through our feet. And so what an open and balanced root can do is to allow more abundance, more flow, more trust, more safety, more security, and often also more money flow to come into our physical world. So the root is really about our early programming as well. And as you know, in the work you do, there's some, negative money beliefs and programs from our family, as well as things we learn just by watching. And so we need to kind of uncover that and begin to open up this root chakra and rebalance it. And then the other important, they're all important, but the solar plexus, another really, really important chakra for earning, because it has to do with self-worth, personal power. And I'm sure you see this in the people you work with, and I certainly do. It's this sort of unworthiness, right? Unworthiness to be wealthy, unworthiness to receive, unworthiness not feeling confident to go out and sort of spread your message. And so when we undervalue ourselves, of course, it shows up in our finances. So when we can kind of open up and work on the solar plexus chakra and increase our self-worth, our confidence, our personal power, that can really affect our finances too.
So what you're saying is we can work on our chakras to affect our money. So we can work that way. If we work clear the chakra, it can then clear the channels to receiving.
Oh my goodness. Yes. And I'm telling you, as you know as well, there's also connections with, with family members and energetic cords that run back and forth from these energy points and old stories that are carried into our life energetically about money that go way back, back through our often at least 3 generations. So there's a lot to cover. I also think the throat chakra, especially with women that I work with, well, as well as gay men in particular, this blockage in the throat chakra, which is our message to the world. And again, if we don't feel confident or if we don't have, self-worth, we're not necessarily sending our message out in a way that's empowering, in a way that's going to attract more business. So lots. And then, of course, the heart chakra. I'm really kind of embracing more of the feminine energy, more of the surrender, more of the allowing. And the heart is really not only about giving unconditional love, but more importantly, I think about receiving. And most of us are really good givers, but boy, we don't really know how to receive very well. So the heart, an open heart, a gentle heart can really, really help us to receive more love, more connection, and also more money.
So what you're saying through the lens of chakras, if we work on clearing these chakras, we're going to be increasing our ability to receive money.
Yes, as we learn to open, release, heal, and become more balanced, everything else flows. Everything starts to flow in your life.
Now, I experienced a delightful session with you in LA where you used your chakra balms. I would love you to share what they are and explain how they work.
Yes. The other thing that happens with breathwork is we get direct downloads. So for anyone looking for clarity in their business or, some sort of guidance, you will definitely get downloads. And in one of those sessions I did at home, I got this very clear image to create these balms. And again, my aunts had created salves and homemade balms growing up. So this download was to create these beautiful chakra balms, and they're packed with essential oils that help to balance and open the chakras. So each balm has over 100 to 120 drops of pure organic essential oil. And each one is custom blended by me, which is really fun. I'm back in the kitchen making these balms myself. And when it's fun kind of reconnecting to that again. And you just take a little rub of each one and apply them to the 7 main chakras before any sort of spiritual practice, meditation, prayer, yoga, breath work, theta healing, anything at all, or before you're going to do a big talk online to help you feel more centered and grounded, to open the throat. And it's pretty amazing. I have to say, I created them hoping they'd be really powerful, but I'm getting so much great feedback from people saying that they really do ignite the chakras and they last a heck of a long time too. So I'm really proud of them.
Amazing. How can people get hold of the balms?
The chakra balms are available at chakrabalms.com. It's CHAKRABALMS.com. They're also available on my own website too.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw that you include them in some of your breathwork programs as well, which I love.
I do, it really, again, it magnifies the experience. And so I want people to have the best experience possible. So yes, I include them in my fast track healing package and also in the introduction to breathwork healer training certification that I do.
Oh, I love this. Love all of these new healing tools. So what would you say the biggest benefits of breathwork are?
Well, in esoteric terms, I would say it's reminding us of who we really are and reminding us of what it's like to feel good. I know that's really big, but so many of us forget, right? Especially now in the world, there's so much going on and so many stresses and pressures, and we're very disconnected. And it just reminds us within a very short period of time, oh, yes, this is how I can feel more often. This is what it's like to feel good. And I think, that's probably the biggest benefit of all. But again, unblocking and really helping us to step up and get busy living our lives, because most of us are checked out in some way. Most of us aren't living to our full potential. And I know, because I spent most of my life there, how frustrating and exhausting that can be. People think, oh, when you're busy doing and creating, you're going to be so exhausted. But I think it's the opposite. I think when you're just stuck and trying to figure out what the hell you're doing with your life and just trying to pay your bills, that's exhausting. And so I think the biggest benefit is freeing you up, helping you to tune into your full potential. And therefore, you go to sleep at night feeling rewarded, like like you're used up and that you're really giving what you're here to give. I think that's what we all want, right? Just to feel like we're living to our fullest potential, like we're helping others along the way. And I think breath work, I work with a lot of professional people who are already successful, but there's so much more that's available to them. And most of them are exhausted. Most of them push and do. And they're ready for a different way. They've tried so many other modalities and they just want to feel freer to kind of create and also have some more balance in their life.
So you touched on breath work reminding you what it feels like to feel good. I'd love for you to share what makes you happiest at this stage in your life.
Well, as touche as it is, every time I offer breath work seriously in a group or a private session, I feel better. So I could go into the session a little grumpy or a little tired, and as soon as I'm done, I feel better.
I love that. I get that when I lead the meditations, I always feel better after supporting others through it.
Yes. And you're also getting the benefits, right? And you're
Totally.
going through the process as well. Yeah. So it's kind of a, catch-22. We're helping others and we're also getting the benefits. I breathe with people during sessions. So of course I'm getting benefits, but yeah, it's knowing that, wow, some people really were impacted by this and I did a really good job today. And it helps me to feel really proud and full. And so that, honestly, that makes me really happy. What else makes me happy? That's a really good question. People have asked me that recently, and my relationships make me happy. My friendships. I mean, obviously that's been a challenge this last year. We've all felt it. There's been a little more loneliness and disconnect, but certainly anytime I can spend time with people I love, always lifts me up. I'm not always big on large groups, but anytime I can have some one-on-one or small group time with friends, definitely makes me feel good. And now I have a new house here in Palm Springs and just sitting outside watching the birds.
Can we just take a moment to celebrate your recent manifestation?
Yes.
They just manifested his new home in Palm Springs. It was January, right?
Yeah, I bought in January, moved February 1st. So it's really new.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really nice. And I often will just I came from, an apartment in Hollywood, which is so busy without nature. Now I just kind of walk barefoot in my backyard and just kind of watch the birds and laugh. They kind of make me laugh, actually. Just watching them play, and it's pretty good. So I think trying to get back to nature a little bit too.
Yeah.
And, I love other things too. I play the piano and I sing, and that always fills my heart.
I didn't know that about you. Damn, you've told me late in the interview.
Lots of mysteries, lots you don't know about me. I also paint abstract paintings and enjoy that too. Yeah.
Cool. What did you think would make you happy in your life but didn't?
Ooh. Oh, the Gucci bag. I'm laughing, but the Mercedes, check, got those, not that they made me unhappy. I still love them. And I still look at them and say, thank you, but certainly did not make me happy. What else? Well, there's a certain short-lived fulfillment from anything external, and that's what breathwork brought me as well. Huge realization. I know we talk about this. People understand that nothing from the outside can fill you, but I really get it now energetically that nothing from the outside can fill me, no matter how big. That's not to say we shouldn't have it and want it and desire it and bring it in, because I'm a big believer wealth is our birthright and that, it's an important part of freedom and ease. But that being said, happiness is an inside job. And so it's something we just have to work at creating and figuring out what's blocking it
Mm. What are you working on bringing more of into your life right now?
Intimacy. Love and intimacy. My biggest desire now is a life partner. And, it's something that's eluded me for a very, very long time. And it's been probably my biggest source of frustration because it's like, where is it? Why isn't it showing up? What am I doing wrong? Yeah, right.
Like, how much work do I have to do?
Yes. And I know I'm really great catch. So
You sure are.
yeah, thank you. And I finally own that and realized that. And maybe that's what it took, is really understanding how valuable I am. And so, but really working at connecting more intimately. And that's probably number one. Also, really upping my financial world too. That's kind of shattering that glass ceiling, and opening up to more miracles around money, because, there's always this sensible side that says, well, it has to come from this, has to come from this. How many clients do we need? But really opening up to that truth that it can show up miraculously, letting go of the logical side and opening up to some more of the money magic. I think that's another thing I'm really open to. And also just really finding joy in the little things.
I've seen you manifest a money miracle before.
Well, thanks to you. I had a pretty big miracle. Was it on day 7 of your Money Beautifully or something?
Yeah, right at the start, right at the gate, you manifest a 6-figure money miracle, I recall.
It was literally gifted to me. It was crazy. I mean, fascinating, right?
All right. And testament to your power to bring that in.
Well, testament to your work as well, and opening me up to, to that idea that money is energy and that miracles can show up. And yeah, so maybe I need to redo that. Money Beautifully.
100%.
Yes, time for another miracle.
Absolutely. So, breathwork sounds so fascinating. Obviously, I've experienced this firsthand for myself.
Yeah.
But for people who would love to work with you, where do they start? How can people find out more about working with you?
Yeah, there's different ways to work with me. And, if people have never done breathwork, certainly there is a free download audio on my website that might be a good option to start. But obviously, one-on-one is always the best way, because I get to dig in and work with somebody personally and really, overcome their personal blocks. And so, jumping in and doing something like the Fast Track Healing Package, which is, a series of 4 intense sessions and includes the chakra bombs, and just kind of jumping in, committing to something like that is going to be a huge life changer.
I'm a big fan of really committing. I love signing up for programs and packages of things. So I feel like, yes, I'm really committing to this transformation. I'm not dipping my toe in the water. I'm diving in at the deep end.
Oh, I could tell you're like that. Absolutely. And it is important. And it's important to make, a bit of a financial commitment, so you are committed. But that being said, also I do a regular Saturday class, which is literally $24. And, it's done via Zoom, of course, and there's people from all over. And that's a really beautiful way to hide out. It's a webinar, so you get to hide out in your pajamas, try it and just see how you like it. And that's super transformative as well. So those are a couple great options. I also do an 11-week for those ready to really jump in and spend 11 weeks with me, digging into every possible block that they have and really uncovering, how they could live their best life.
Brilliant. And where do you hang out on social?
Yeah, my Facebook and Instagram are Breathe On It with Jay. That's BREATHE, On It with Jay. And those, I use Instagram a lot more than Facebook.
Yeah, I think we all do now, right?
It seems that way. Yes. And my website is breatheonit.net.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your journey and being so honest and real and personal. I've really loved our conversation.
Me too.
So thank you. Thank you. And I can't recommend the power of breathwork highly enough. I think, as we've uncovered today, it's all about letting go of the old programming, the old emotional experiences, all of the old stuff that's recorded in your cells and is holding you back from experiencing that feeling of happiness that you've touched on again and again. So I wish you so much happiness. Next time I'm going to have you on sharing the story of how you met your life partner through the medium of song and piano.
I cannot wait. We're going to be singing some, as corny as this is, some beautiful duets together. Cannot wait to harmonize together.
Well, thank you so much for being on this show.
Oh, thank you. Thanks everyone for listening. Have a great day.
Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of the Feminine Millionaire Show. I'm super excited to announce that the doors will be reopening very soon to Money Beautifully, my powerful program for clearing your money blocks. And to celebrate, I have a powerful free 15-minute energy clearing to help you hold on to more money, available when you sign up to the waitlist. Plus, you'll receive a very special discount only for waitlist members. So on the energy clearing, it's going to help you release any unworthiness, doubt and fear about more abundance coming in and opening up to truly and deeply receiving it. You're going to be guided to how to be safe with money, how to be safe with more money, how to be comfortable with more money, and what it looks like and feels like to thrive financially. You'll learn how to tap into an infinite amount of money and abundance that's available to you right now. Super, super powerful and all in 15 minutes. So go to moneybeautifully.com to sign up for the waitlist now and check out the link in the show notes. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye for now.